Hi everybody, welcome to chapter 2, lesson number
2.
Nope.
3.
No, 3. Lesson 3. I'm here again, still on the bus. What's up, guys? So last lesson was about the cities, growing cities, immigration, Detroit, Pittsburgh, Chicago. Well, now we have everyone moving to those cities. We have problems in those cities. And we have immigrants moving there. So we have two things here. And we have a little Venn diagram for you on this page. But first, let's let you copy the top part. So right now, could you please pause it right and unpause it. All right, now for the bottom half. So bottom half of the notes, copy that down, pause it right
Now.
and unpause it. Good job. So the top part is bad things. The bottom part is good things. So bad things, good things. Bad things, good things. Bad for cities, good for immigrants. And one of them is in the middle between both of them. So now when everyone comes to a city, do you recall we talked about with the kind of places they live in?
Tenements.
Tenements. What's a tenement? I'd be impressed if you
It's
knew this.
unstructured apartment that's very bad.
It's a fire hazard?
Yeah.
Okay, fire hazard. Everyone's crowded together. What kind of things spread around? Where does the poo go?
Oh, it falls onto the street.
All right, we have poo in buckets dumped out into the streets. Is poo bad?
Yes.
Disease.
Spreads disease.
We get disease. We get, do you want poo in your water?
No.
No, poo is bad for water. So we have disease stuff spreading. Everyone's crowded together. Tenements very small. We also have ghettos. Ghettos are neighborhoods where different groups would live together, sometimes because they had to, like in the case of if you're African American. Yes, actually. So Hitler will have the Jewish people in the ghettos. Ghettos starts off as a place where in Italy, in Venice, people who are Jewish were required to live in one little place, right? So, and Hitler will do the same thing in World War II. We get to that in chapter 6. But ghettos are places where people felt like they had to live. So people from different immigrant groups. And so tenements, a problem for cities. They're bad. Another problem for cities is corruption. Do you know what corruption is?
Yes.
If I was a corrupt teacher and you wanted an A, what would you do?
I would follow your orders.
Okay. I could threaten to hurt you. What if you gave me a bribe? Would I take it? $100? Would I take it? Yeah. If I was corrupt, I would. So corruption is a problem in politics. People are corrupt, and the government's not working. Now, the government is corrupt because people are trying to hold on to power. We call those political machines.
Like Putin.
Like Putin, like Vladimir Putin in Russia. Excellent. So that's a political machine when you're trying to hold on to political power, and you do that by helping immigrants. So immigrants come and they need things like jobs, place to live. So if a political machine can help them with that, then they'll vote however you say. So if you're like, hey, whatever you say, buddy, you give me a job, I'll vote however you want me to vote for. I don't care who it is, Republican, Democrat, you gave me a job, I'll do what you say. So corruption's a problem for cities, but is it good for an immigrant?
Yes.
Yeah, because you're like, I just need a job, buddy. So corruption, bad for cities, good for immigrants, right? So helps immigrants. Now, the other thing that helps immigrants is what we call a settlement house. You know what a settlement house is?
No.
Settlement house is a place that helps an immigrant to settle. So it could be a YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA, right? There you go. Now, the most popular or the most famous settlement house is one of the first ones was called Hull House. Hull House was founded by Jane Addams. Hull House exists to help with daycare, learning the English language, right? Getting a job. So all that stuff, that's what a settlement house can do. So things that are bad for cities. Tenements, bad. Ghettos, bad. Poop in the water, bad. Political corruption, bad. But if you're an immigrant, is a political machine useful? Helps you find a job. Settlement houses, good? Good. All right, so that's it. Easy as that. Thanks, guys.
Adios.
Bye.
In many cities, slums are reaching epidemic proportions. Multiple families crammed into one small room. Human waste pours into the streets, alleys, and open courtyards. Jacob Riis, Danish immigrant, crime reporter, photographer. He gets leads for stories from Chief Inspector Burns. Now, he's about to expose the hell of tenements. Jacob Riis knows what it's like to be poor. 15 years ago, he lost his job in a stock market crash. It's midnight, but Riis has a new technology that will change the public perception of poverty forever. An explosive powder that produces enough light to photograph in the dark. This is one of the first ever photographs of slum life. It shocks millions.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jacob A. Riis, and this is how the other half live and die in New York City.
Magazines refuse to print his work, so Riis puts on his own magic lantern shows. His mission? To show the nation's wealthy something they've never seen before. Filth and desperation on their doorstep.
In this block, 9 dead were carried out this year alone. 5 in baby coffins.
Riis publishes his pictures in a book called How the Other Half Lives. It will sell more than 28 million copies. Within 2 decades, the worst of New York's slums are torn down. Tenements sell at auction for as little as $1. Riis's campaigning forces all New York schools to build playgrounds and landlords to install toilets inside apartments, not outside. It is the first step in tackling the slums. But as cities keep on growing, an even bigger challenge remains. In New York alone, nearly 40,000 die in 1 year from diseases. Because of this, filth. But one clean crusader is about to change everything. 1895. Our major cities are drowning in filth. 120,000 horses dump 500,000 pounds of manure into the New York streets every day. Wagons are blocked by 3-foot-high piles of human and animal waste. Into this world steps a man on a white horse, Colonel George Waring. Civil War veteran, legendary sewer engineer, apostle of cleanliness. He's the head of New York's sanitation department.
The city stinks with the emanations of putrefying organic matter. Black rottenness is seen and smelled on every hand. The crowded streets are a veritable hell.
Waring recruits an army of 2,000 sanitation workers in white uniforms. Some dismiss him as a crank. They call his men white ducks, but Waring means business. Tons of garbage, normally dumped into the river, is recycled. Ash becomes landfill on Rikers Island. Organic waste boiled into oil and grease. Waring is America's first eco-warrior. His men clean 433 miles of street. Death rates decline. Water quality improves. Waring saves the lives of thousands. The measures spread across America. Just 16 years after Colonel Waring, half of all cities have waste collection. And it is not just waste. By 1907, every large city in the nation has sewers. By 1909, there are 42,040 miles of sewers in America. The battle against filth, crime, and poverty has begun. But one of the city's greatest innovations is still in its infancy.